Hello everyone. Welcome to AWS Question and Answers, Concepts and Lab Series. I am Sumbul Lakuri. As I move ahead, I will try to cover different concepts associated with AWS Cloud from basic to advanced level. This series is created keeping in mind your CCP and associate level certifications of AWS. It is my guarantee that you are going to find it not only informative but also enjoyable as we move ahead. So, happy learning. The topic that I have chosen for today is your AWS Basics and EC2. Here I will be taking the approach of asking, answering, and implementing as I move forward and compare different AWS concepts from basic to advanced. Let's get started. Question number 1. Define and explain the three basic types of cloud services and AWS products that are built based on them. The three basic types of cloud services are first your computing services, then your storage services, and finally your networking services. And some of the AWS products that are built based on these include we have EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda, Autoscaling, and Lightsail for computing. We have services like S3 Glacier, EBS, and EFS when we talk about storage. Similarly, when we talk about networking, we have VPC, Subnet, Amazon CloudFront, and Route 53. Question number 2. What is the relationship between availability zone and region? In AWS, region are separate geographical areas like US West 1 or North California and Asia South, which is Mumbai. On the other hand, your AZ or availability zone are the areas that are present inside the region. These are generally isolated zones that can replicate themselves whenever required. AZs are located inside region. They can be addressed by appending a letter to the end of the region code name. For instance, if you write US East 1A, then it is the AZ in US East 1. Similarly, if you write SA-East-1B, then it is the AZ in region SA East 1. Coming to the next question. What are edge location? Edge location are your global location where contents are cached. For example, if your media content is in London and you want to share video files with your customer in Sydney, you could have the video cached in a edge location close to Sydney. This will make it possible for your customer to access the cached video more quickly and than accessing them from London. Certainly, there are over 400 plus edge locations globally. A point to note here is Amazon CloudFront delivers your content through a worldwide network of edge locations. So when we say what is CloudFront, it's just like your postman delivering your content worldwide. Coming to our next question, that is question number 4. How can one interact with AWS? Every action that you make in AWS is an API call that is authenticated and authorized. In AWS, you can make API calls to services and resources through AWS Management Console, AWS Command Line, or what you call CLI, or you can make use of AWS SDKs, that is your software development kits. Question number 5. What is EC2 or Elastic Compute Cloud? Amazon EC2 provides scalable computing capacity in AWS Cloud. Using AWS EC2, we can eliminate the need to invest in hardware upfront. We can simply develop and deploy applications faster. We can make use of EC2 to launch as many or as few servers as needed. Configure security and networking, manage storage, It enables us to scale up and down to handle changes in the requirements or spike in popularity, reducing our need to forecast traffic. Question number 6. What is a key pair in Amazon EC2? A key pair consists of public key and a private key. It's a set of security credentials that you use to prove your identity when connecting to Amazon EC2 instance. Amazon EC2 instance stores the public key on your instance and you store the private key. Coming on the lighter note, when we talk about key pairs, we can easily consider it as, suppose you are having a bank account, you are having a locker in any bank, and when you want to access the locker, what happens is you have a key, you go to the bank, you go with your key, and another pair of key is with the bank officials. And if you want to access the account, what happens is the person will come along with you and make use of both the keys, and the combination will be used to open your locker. Same goes here. You have a public key and a private key, and using the both, you can provide your identity when connecting to, say, EC2 instance. Question number 7. What are the main features of EC2? Amazon EC2 provides the following high-level features. We talk of instances, which are nothing but your virtual servers. Then we talk about AMIs or Amazon Machine Images. These are your pre-configured templates for your instances that package the component you need for your server, including the OS and the additional software. Then we talk about instance type. Instance type is the various configuration of CPU, memory, storage, networking capacity, and graphics hardware for your instance. Then we have key pairs. Key pairs, as we have already talked, is used for securely logging into AWS. AWS stores the public key and you store the private key in a secure place. Then we have instance store volumes. These are the storage volumes for temporary data that is deleted when you stop, hibernate, or terminate your instance. We have EBS volumes, which are your persistent storage volumes for your data. Then we talk about security groups. Security groups are your virtual firewalls that allows you to specify the protocols, ports, and source IP ranges that can reach your instances and destination IP ranges to which your instance can connect. Then we talk about elastic IP addresses. These are your static IPv4 addresses for dynamic cloud computing. Then another thing that we talk of is tags. Tags are the metadata that you can create and assign to your Amazon EC2 resources. In short, you can say tags are something which everyone knows, like an exercise which everyone knows that they should do, but they are hardly done. But it's a good practice to maintain tags. Coming to the next question, that is question number 8. What are EC2 instance types? An instance type in Amazon EC2 refers to specification of virtual hardware resources assigned to EC2 instance. It defines the computing capacity, memory, storage, and networking capabilities of the instance. Each instance type has its own structure and performance characteristics, allowing users to choose the most suitable option for their specific application requirement and budget. For example, you have general purpose instances. These instances are optimized for a balance of compute, memory, and networking resources. Example, your T3.medium. We have compute optimized instances which are designed for applications that require high computational power. Example, C5.large. Then we have memory optimized instances which are with large memory capacity suitable for memory intensive workload. Example, your R5.large. We have storage optimized instances with high performance storage for data intensive workload. For example, your i3 large. Then we have accelerated computing instances. These instances are equipped with powerful GPUs for accelerated graphics and parallel processing. Example, your G4DN extra large. Coming to question number 9. What is the naming convention used by EC2? AWS has following naming convention. For example, if you have written M5.2x large instance type, then here M is the instance class. That is the class to which this instance type belong. 5 refer to the generation. AWS improves them over time. Then finally 2x large is the size within the instance class. Looking at the chart on the screen, you can clearly make out how different instance type is associated with the corresponding memory, storage, and the networking performance. What are different purchasing options available for Amazon EC2 instances? When it comes to Amazon EC2, we have n number of options to choose from depending upon our requirement. The very first one is our on-demand instances. These are meant for short workload with predictable pricing. You pay per second. These types of instances cannot be interrupted. You are not paying anything upfront or no minimum contract for the cost applied. They are generally used for developing and testing applications that have unpredictable usage pattern. They are not recommended for workload that last a year or longer because it can cost you heavily as compared to other instances like your reserved instances. Coming to reserved instance, where you have a commitment of 1 year or 3 years, these are billing discount instances applied to use on-demand instances in your account. At the end of the reserved instance term, you can continue to use the instance without interruption. However, you are charged on-demand rates until you terminate the instance or purchase a new reserved instances matching your attributes. These are again of two types. You have your normal reserved instances meant for the long workload. Then you have convertible reserved instances. These are again meant for long workload but with flexible instances. Then you have your savings plan. Savings plan enables you to reduce your compute cost by committing to a consistent amount of compute usage for again 1 year or 3 year term, which results in saving of up to 72% over on-demand instances. Then you have your spot instances. These are meant for your short workload. These are cheap and you can lose the instances, hence they are not very reliable. They are ideal for workload with flexible start and end times. Since they can withstand interruptions, it uses unused Amazon EC2 computing capacity and offers cost saving up to 90% as compared to your on-demand prices. Then you have your dedicated host and dedicated instances. Dedicated hosts are your physical servers with Amazon EC2 instances capacity that is fully dedicated to your use. We have dedicated host. When we talk about dedicated host, we are booking the entire physical server and we control instance placement, hence they are most expensive. Coming to dedicated instance, these are instances which no other customer will share with you. You have the physical hardware or the instance which is only dedicated to you. Apart from that, we also talk about an instance with capacity reservations, where we reserve capacity in a specific AZ for any duration. One of the common confusion that people have is when to choose what, which purchasing option to go for. Over here, I want to give a small analogy and will try to make it very clear. Go for spot instances if your instance can withstand interruptions, for they are the cheapest, but they are not reliable. So if you want to go for the cheapest instances which can withstand interruption, go for spot instances. You will get up to 90% discount as compared to your on-demand instance. Go for on-demand instances if you are not sure about the usage pattern. That is, when you have an unpredictable usage pattern, go for your on-demand instances. If you want to, if you are sure that you will be using it for a year or three, you can go for the reserved instances or for the savings plan. Difference between the two is that savings plan, in savings plan you can make you use savings plan when you have a commitment to an amount of usage and long workload. Then coming to dedicated host and dedicated instance, these are the costliest or the most expensive instances. You go for dedicated instance or dedicated host depending upon your specific requirement. Suppose if I want to throw a birthday party and I have a bunch of friends, so I can book a table and I can simply go with that. In that case, there will be no other guest apart from the one I have invited to who will be sharing the table with me. That is, that entire table or that entire instance will be meant for me only and the guest that I have called. Same is the case with dedicated instance. Coming to dedicated host, suppose I want to throw a bigger party, a marriage party or something like that. In that case, booking a table will not meet my requirement. I might need the entire hall. Same goes with the dedicated host. You use dedicated host when you want to book the entire physical server and control instance placement. Let's move ahead with the implementation part. Here we will be launching an EC2 instance and we will be connecting to it. To start with, you first need to log into your AWS console. Once you are logged in, you need to go to the EC2 page. For that, either you can go via the services option available on the top panel, or other thing that you can do is you can simply type EC2 in the search bar and you will be taken to that EC2 page. Once there, we will be re-entering the required details. For instance, the name of the instance that we want to create, the AMI that we want to go for, and so on. So here the name that I have chosen for my EC2 instance is my EC2 server. Now I will type the name of the server as my EC2 server over here. The next thing that I will do is I will choose the AMI. Choose any of the free AMIs available from the free available tier. Then next, choose the type of the instance. Remember, we have talked about different instance type. To choose any instance type. Once instance type is chosen, the next thing to choose is the key pair. Since I haven't created any key pair yet, so I will be creating one. I will be entering the name of the key pair and I will be creating a key pair which I will be using later to connect to my EC2 instance. Once the key pair is created, we will move to the network setting. We will edit the setting to meet our requirement. Here I need to choose the VPC, the subnet, and whether I want to the enable or disable the auto assignment of the IPs. Since I haven't created a VPC separately, I will be choosing the default option that is available. Once done with that, I will choose the security group. Again, with the security group, if you have any security group that you want to use, you can use that, or you can even create your own security group. Security group will define your inbound and outbound traffic. That is, who all will be allowed to connect to your EC2 instance. Here the name of the security group that I have chosen is my EC2 server -SG, SG for your security group. Type any description that you want and edit the inbound and outbound rules if you want to, depending upon your requirement. Here I am allowing HTTP traffic from anywhere. Finally, we will click on the launch instance button to launch an instance. It will take some time. Once done, you will see a success message. You can go back to the instances page and you will see the name of the instance that you have launched. We can see my EC2 server is available over there, but it is still in the pending state. We need to wait for some time till our EC2 instance is ready. Once ready, we will be connecting to it. Meanwhile, you can simply click on the checkbox and you can see the details of the instance that we have created in the down panel. Your instance is ready to connect. Click on the connect option. After some time, you will see that your server is ready and you can easily communicate with it. You can see that it is establishing the connection. And here it is ready. In order to test it further, we will simply ping and see whether we are getting the response. Here I am typing ping google.com and pressing the enter key, and I will see that it is able to connect to go to Google and it is fetching data from there. Thus we can see we can easily create an instance, we can simply connect to an instance, and once connected we can use it like a local server as we require. Hope it clears your concept with the EC2 instance and it added to your learning. Thank you.